Hello, everyone. Welcome to We the People, a podcast dedicated to all things anime, from the perspectives of an advanced viewer, casual, and beginner. I am your host, Daniel.
Megan! My name's Josh Peck.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Hey, I said we were going to Drake and Josh this one, so I'm doing it.
I mean, you right?
Megan?
And I'm Jake Campbell. Yeah, Jake's gone. He's on vacation right now. Rest his soul. Height. What do they say in Fire Force?
Latom. Absolute garbage. We're
Hell
trash
yeah.
human beings.
So Malcolm and I decided to do a tag team Senpai Suggests. We're going to be talking about the summer 2020 anime season. So what's going to happen with this one? I'm going to limit the list to shows that either that I'm currently watching right now, or that I plan to watch. As we talked about in previous episodes on the show, there's just way too many shows to talk about for each season, so we just limited it to that. But you know, if there's a particular show that we don't mention in today's episode, and you're like, hey, what the hell, like we should talk about it, or you're like, hey, check it out, maybe I can like change your mind, blah blah blah. You know, feel free to tag us in social media, DM us, whatever have you, because we're always looking for more shows to watch. So yeah.
Put a little asterisk on that. Daniel's always looking for shows to watch.
I have
a test to take at the end of November.
I'm always looking for shows to watch because apparently I'm the only one who cares about this podcast. So,
you're not wrong.
hey.
For those poor people who are just listening to this podcast, we're testing this one out using video cams, and I just dabbed, and Daniel just started dancing like an animal. So
it's the Fortnite dance, but sitting down. Hey. We're millennials and not Gen Zs.
Fuck Zoomers. I'll say
it. Anyway, don't worry, Zoomers. I like you because I know you're a majority of our viewing base. So, what am I got? Oh yeah. Be warned that some of these shows that we're going to be talking about are season 2ers. So, what's going to happen is we'll go briefly over the plot that was given in season 1, and where it left off. If it's not in spoiler territory, we'll do our best to ever call out any spoilers that may appear in the show. And also because of the current circumstances with the coronavirus, I'm also going to include shows that technically started airing in the spring season, but they didn't really get to either take off or get that far in, with some of the shows getting like 2 or 3 episodes in, like max. So they're basically starting their run now. So yeah, with that, we have a couple shows that we wrote down, aka that I wrote down.
Yeah, Daniel did all the heavy lifting this time.
But yeah, so here we go.
Before you start, hey Zoomers, I'm sorry. Please don't bully me. Y'all are fucking ruthless, and I love that about you, and use that stuff towards like political stuff and making people be good. But like, please don't bully me. I really do love you. I just don't vape. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's true, man. This is an indirect sponsorship by Whataburger.
Ooh, y'all gotta watch this YouTube video. It's gonna be fucking primo content.
I'm having a blast right now. So yeah, first category, shows that I'm currently watching. ReZero, Starting Life in Another World, season 2. We've talked about this one on the podcast before. This one was just recently. We watched the director's cut version for season 1 in episodes 75 and 76 of the podcast. So if you haven't checked that out yet, go listen to our review of that. But for those of you that haven't seen the first season or don't know what the series is about, ReZero, Starting Off in Another World, started off as a light novel series written by Taipei Nagatsuki and illustrated by Shinichiro Otsuka, later becoming an anime directed by Masaharu Watanabe and animated by Studio White Fox. The story follows protagonist Natsuki Subaru, a NEET, aka not employed in education or training, fun fact, that gets teleported to another world suddenly one night. After going into this new world, he quickly learns that he has the ability, quote-unquote, return by death, which returns him to a point in time after he gets killed. As mentioned before in our watch series, this is a darker isekai version of the isekai genre, and it has a lot of good, memorable scenes in the show. We highly recommend it. It's a really fun show to watch. And season 2 picks up where season 1 left off, right? With the super crazy. I guess, dude. I'm tired, bro. Today's my Friday, dude. I just got off work, bro. With the crazy ending that ended with Subaru and Emilia. So far, I'm 3 episodes in. I think that's as far as they've released so far. And it's definitely lit up to the hype.
Yeah.
as of this recording date, July 21st.
July.
July. Pew, pew, pew. Yeah. Oh God. We'll definitely do a review of the series season 2 on the podcast in the future. So definitely check that out. Be on the listen for that. And the show is available on Crunchyroll/Verve. So yeah, ReZero starting off in Another World season 2.
Yeah, and this time Daniel gets to have the burden of watching it week by week, just like I did with Tower of God. And God, that killed me to wait so long.
Dude, oh my God, that's gonna be next week's episode. By the way, is our watch of Tower of God. So look out for that. That's gonna be a blast. I was texting Malcolm the entire time. I was like, bro, this shit slaps.
I was like, wait till you get to episode 11. And he was like, yo, what the fuck?
Hey, yo, what the fuck? So yeah, ReZero starting life in Another World season 2. Check it out. Tower of God next week. Check it out. Next on the list, we have another manhwa. We talked about manhwa on Webtoon more in depth in last week's episode. That was episode 87. So check it out if you're interested in that. But for this one, it is God of High School. It started off as a web manhwa written and illustrated by Youngjae Park and serialized on Webtoon since 2011. Like Tower of God, God of High School also has a mobile game, merchandise, anime. They're just big franchises. So yeah, it's really good. I think it's like episode 3, 2.
Yeah, 3 came out as of July 20th, 2020. Yes.
Yeah, so yesterday it came out. So then I still haven't watched it because I was working. But dude, feels bad. This is directed by Sung-ho Park and animated by Mappa, and the story follows protagonist Jin Mori and friends as they compete in a martial arts tournament called God of High School, where any fighting style goes. So, like I mentioned on last week's episode, I can't go too further into the setting because there's spoilers, and I spoiled myself, so it feels bad. But so far, I really dig the animation. I love the choreography and stuff. Super well done. It's based off of like real fighting styles in the real world. And I don't know how they didn't use motion capture, but I guess they use like references. And I think it's really well done. The fight scenes are incredible, and there's different fighting techniques. So there's different fighting styles that they implement in the show. And the music I really like as well because it's like electronic music. I like EDM. That's my go-to, my niche. But so that's nice. So yeah, if you're interested in checking out another animated manhwa, if you haven't checked out Tower of God, God of High School is currently airing right now. So check it out on Crunchyroll or read it on Webtoon if you want to figure out more about the setting.
Yeah, I've only watched the first 2 episodes, and it's pretty much kind of exactly like season 1 of Hunter x Hunter, but animated with the style of comparable to Attack on Titan. Like that shit's crisp.
Jess. All right. Our next one.
All right, hold on. Before you get started, if I'm going to drop something into the audio clip, and I'm just going to tell you when you can skip Daniel having this entire fanboy moment, because I feel like he's going to go on a tangent for about 5 minutes on this one. So I'm just going to sit back and play some Legends of Runeterra.
Ew.
Yeah, we don't do card games on this show. What is this, Yu-Gi-Oh?
What is this shit? So yeah, next show is a huge point of contention within the anime community. I've talked about it before. I'll fucking die on this hill by myself if I have to, but I will always recommend it. I did this on my second Senpai Suggests. I did an entire episode about the series. So the series in mind being Sword Art Online. So if you want more information about the franchise as a whole, the different anime seasons, some of the games that I've talked about there, go check out that episode. That was the second Senpai Suggests. So yeah, for now, I'll give a brief overview of what the series is about, because each season's like quite different from each other.
Wildly different.
Yeah, and I'll try my best not to spoil anything. If something comes up, I'll just probably yell out spoilers or whatever. Go crazy with that. But for now, right?
That's gonna be a nightmare to edit, huh?
But for now, we got Sword Art Online began as a light novel series written by Reki Kawahara and illustrated by Abic, with seasons 1 and 2 directed by Tomohiko Ito and produced by A1 Pictures, and season 3 directed by Manabu Ono and produced by A1 Pictures. Like we said before, the light novel and anime series span multiple arcs involving different characters, focusing on different plot points, with each arc taking place in a different setting. I guess the best way to tackle this is going to be explaining season 1 and then explaining where we are currently right now. So with that, the main protagonist, is Kazuto Kirito Kirigaya, who picks up the latest VR MMORPG that is a virtual reality, massively multiplayer online role-playing game called Sword Art Online on the release day. So then the device that they use in this world for virtual reality is called the Nerve Gear, and it was created by this guy named Akihiko Kayaba, which is important since after they log in, Kirito's playing, he's checking it out. I mean, he's already played it at this point. He was a beta tester, but he's playing it again on release day, and he meets a friend, meets a friend, they meets online, whatever. They play for a little bit together, and then he's like, "Oh shit, I need to go eat, whatever." But then when he tries to log out, and everybody else tries to log out and stuff, all the 10,000 players that logged in at that moment in time, there is no logout button. My God. And yo, what the fuck? I'm gonna try to include that as much as possible in this episode. But they realize they can't log out of the game. So then what happens is this guy, Akihiko Kayaba, he's like, "Hey, yo, what's good? You guys are trapped in here, and basically what y'all gotta do is to escape this so-called death game, you have to beat the entirety of Aincrad, which is like the world that SAO encompasses, and it's like a huge fortress, and each of the there's 100 levels within this fortress of Aincrad, and they have to defeat all 100 levels and beat the final boss in order to escape. And then you might be saying, well, can't they just remove the helmet? Well, this asshole, basically, he's like, nah, bro. And if you try to take off the helmet, it immediately short circuits and will just fry your brain instantly. That's season 1. Season 1 is dope.
Yeah, it sets up a really happy show.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Friendly stuff. But now, the current season has moved so far beyond that. And like I said, there's huge point of contention with the series, right? And I think that's due to the follow-up to season 1, part 1. But I think season 3 has done an amazing job so far. It's definitely my most favorite season, like my most favorite story arc of Sword Art Online, even beating season 1, in my opinion. And this one, I know, right, bro?
Surprising.
Yeah, this one focuses on what's called the Underworld. Like I said, I'm not going to try to go too far into specifics since I don't want to spoil too much. But basically think about it as like a super realistic simulation world that Kirito finds himself in. And in this series, he tries to basically escape from the simulation, figure out why he went into the simulation, because he doesn't know, because of spoilers. I'm not going to say anything. But all I can say is that A1 Pictures is doing an amazing job animating the series. The music's incredible. It has some of the best openings I've ever heard of anime, like all time, like legit. Like I said before, there's a lot to digest in this series. I'm a huge fan. I have a couple of the light novels, like, let's see.
Oh, we're getting visuals this
dude,
episode.
Hell yeah, dude. I have some of the light novels for Sword Art Online. I'm a huge fan. I really like the series. A new game came out just recently, I think a couple of days ago, Alicization Licorice or whatever. I haven't played it yet, but...
You can taste test it. Licorice. Alicization.
Yeah, it's licorice. It's basically just Sword Art Online Twizzlers.
You got video games, you got anime, you got a light novel, you got edibles?
Edibles?
The Holy Quadrant.
The Holy Grail? No.
Is that fate?
But yeah, lots to digest here, I know. But if you want more information, I did a deep dive into it in the second Senpai Suggests. Go check it out. And I think Sword Art Online is available on almost every streaming platform. I think it's on Netflix, Crunchyroll.
But season 3 specifically is just
Crunchyroll, right? Yeah. But if you at least want to just get a primer, if you will, into the first couple seasons, then yeah, Netflix. I think Hulu has it. I'm not sure if Prime has it, but it's everywhere. You can find it easily.
Skip part 2 of season 1. Go to Gun Gale. Do what you want with that.
I literally did an entire roadmap of what you should do in that second Senpai Suggest. Like I said, check it out. What's good? That's that. All right, moving on. We got a really good show, really good shonen. Malcolm, you're currently watching it, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm up to date.
Yeah, I was like, I think so, yeah. So this one's going to be Fire Force Season 2. So starting off, I think I mentioned this. I mentioned Fire Force actually in, I think it was the third Senpai Suggests over the fall 2019 anime season.
Probably.
Yeah, I think I did. Fire Force started off as a manga series written and illustrated by Atsushi Okubo. I'm trying my best here. With season 1 being directed by Yuki Yase.
And That's all.
Yeah, Atsushi. There we go.
Asushi.
Atsushi Okubo. And then season 2 by Tatsuma Minamikawa, right?
Sure.
And sure. And both seasons animated by David Production.
You mean
Protagonist Shinra.
Is that a JoJo reference?
Kono Dio Brando.
We need season 6.
I have a JoJo reference later on, bro.
Oh,
Don't even worry about it.
Let's do it.
Protagonist in this story, protagonist Shinra Kusakabe is a new recruit in the Fire Force's 8th Company, an organization that deals with human combustion cases and all things supernatural related to fire. In their universe, fire is something that is heavily revered and worshipped, but also feared, and their entire society basically like revolves around it, as does religions. Fire Force season 1 was, I think, to me, no pun intended, but it was a slow burn at first. The first couple, I think the first 8 episodes. I mean, it was whatever. It was fine. But then after it was like episode 9 in particular, when he fights that one dude. After that, it just ramped up completely. The show, it's it's a typical shonen, I think, in my opinion. It's just very much this character as he goes through like power increases as he's trying to get stronger, and there's like a main villain or a main villain organization that they try to tackle, whatever. Every now and then there's fan service moments. I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
Well, not every now and then. It's pretty blatant when they do it, though.
You think? Is that?
It hits you in the face, like when Cat Girl.
Well, I mean, yes, but how often? I honestly don't remember how often.
Every other episode.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that may, if you're a Jake-esque kind of person, that might be like, oh my god. If you're me, that's jaded, so who doesn't even realize it's happening anymore, maybe that won't affect you. But season 2 picks up right where season 1 left off, and it's beginning to answer a lot of the questions that we had that were going on with the story, especially towards the end. A lot of stuff happens with the evil organization that I mentioned. Not going to go into depth with that. But it's been a blast watching so far every Friday, checking that out. So, and I think Malcolm would agree. That's definitely a show that you should check out if you're looking for like a shonen to watch, binge, what have you. So if you've watched Soul Eater, I think it's the same studio or it's the same director. What's one of those two? I don't remember. That did Soul Eater. So
I want to have time. It's been done, but you should definitely watch Soul Eater.
Soul Eater is really good. Yeah. Or is it written by the same mangaka? I honestly don't know. I know there's some connection between the two. I think before the season, in my Senpai Suggests, the 3rd episode, I said briefly something like the minds of Soul Eater or whatever. But yeah, in some way, shape, or form, I know they're connected. So, and you definitely can see it when you're watching Soul Eater and then comparing it to Fire Force. So either one of those, definitely recommend. But yeah, what we're watching currently in the current season is Fire Force Season 2. So yeah, definitely check it out. It's on Crunchyroll. So
yeah.
Gang.
Did you just say gang? I'm just gonna let that slide. What the fuck?
Yo, what the
fuck? Yeah, so watch it out. Gang.
Good stuff. All right, now moving on to our second category. There's only one show in the second category. I literally labeled it not watching currently, but I've seen the previous seasons. So reason for that is because I saw this show. The show in mind is my teen romantic comedy SNAFU. I watched this show back in 2015 or 16. It's basically a rom-com slice of life. And I've watched the past 2 seasons, but it's been so freaking long since I watched it. And now that it's airing, it's already been 5 years since. I honestly don't remember anything. So that's like why I'm not watching the 3rd season right now. That's not to say it's bad by any means, but like right now, I don't really have the time to be able to catch up with all that show again. And I'm not really in a slice of life kind of mood. But like I said, that's not to say that it's bad. Like I actually really enjoyed it. So the 3rd season has a super weird name. It's once again my teen romantic comedy SNAFU, but then climax. So I don't know if that's like some weird.
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck? I didn't read that.
Yeah, exactly. So I will. Oh my goodness, the camera. So I'll just refer to it as season 3. So this series, starting off as a light novel series written by Wataru Watari and illustrated by Pocan 8, was season 1, directed by Ai Yoshimura and animated by Studio Brains Base. And then season 2 and season 3 directed by Kei Oikawa and animated by Studio Feel. The story follows protagonist Hachiman Hikigaya, or better known in the English community as basically just 8-man, since Hachi means 8 in Japanese. Who's this pessimistic dude, narcissistic, super edgy as they come. What ends up happening is he writes an essay about like how modern relationships are, but the teacher's like, yo, your viewpoint's like really sad and depressing, and like you need to change your point of view because you're so young.
Hey, yo, dog, don't be a fucking incel.
Yeah, basically, except like he's not a simp. So
yo,
yeah.
Real quick, I saw this fucking gorgeous meme earlier. It was like, I'm gonna call you Homer because you a simp, son. And I was
like, that's pretty good actually. So yeah, the teacher's like, hey, yo, you need to join this club. It's a volunteer service club, and basically the point of the club is to help any student that may need a hand in basically anything, either that be like counseling, homework, problems, life. They're basically expected to do everything, right? Classic high school, I guess. There he meets Yukino Shita and Yui. Oh my god, they did this on purpose. Yeah, I know. Yui Yugi Hama. Yeah, I know, bro. And basically the three of them get into shenanigans and classic high school relationships. I'm not going to spoil anything.
But there's a lot of Tamagotchis.
But there's
back and forth, trying to make sure it doesn't die.
There you go. Like I said, it's like a rom-com, but the series can also get really real at some points. And like I said before, it's been 5 years since I've watched the past 2 seasons, so I've forgotten a lot of what's happened. But I do remember like enjoying them, and I was like, oh wow, that was really fun. I thought there was a 3rd season coming out. Well, there was, but not until 5 years into the future, right? So maybe at some point I'll be able to get to rewatching season 1 and 2 so I can watch season 3, since I hate being left out of the current meme culture on the subreddit. But unfortunately, I'm a full-time working adult, so I don't have as much time as I used to. But yeah, check out the series, My Teen Romantic Comedy SNAFU, if you want a little bit of slice of life in your life.
Speaking of slices of life and being full-time working adults, if you guys just want to drop some money into our Venmos, if you look at my wall, not a goddamn thing. You look at Daniel's wall, an anime girl.
Hey!
So like,
that's Fate, by the way, best series ever.
Help us buy some
merch. Yeah. So that's that. Last category that I wanted to mention was shows that I plan to watch or at least check out at some point in time. I think I put like 3 shows because there was definitely like 3 shows in this summer season that I was like, you know what? I've heard so many good things about it. I just haven't gotten around to watching it. And I think what's really nice about watching shows that are currently airing is that you don't have to devote too much time to like watching them. So like each day it's like, oh, this show comes out on, I don't know, let's say a Tuesday. That's the only show that comes out on a Tuesday. Oh, okay. Well, 20 minutes every day. That could be literally done when you're in the bathroom, right? So it's...
What the fuck? Who spends 20 minutes in the bathroom? Daniel?
You'd be surprised.
My leg goes numb within 7 minutes. I don't know how you're going to make it past the next 13.
I'm sorry. You're like smashing your legs, bro.
I got some thick boy thighs, and the pressure on the toilet seat, the angle's not right, and it just hits the right nerve, and it's just like...
Let it be on the record, ladies and gentlemen, that Malcolm literally uses his phone on the restroom as...
Also, when I have the big poops, the shirt comes off.
Yeah, we've had an entire debate on that, which we're not going to have here. But
I'll post
maybe
a
another
link to
day.
my Google form so we can get some good scientific data on that later.
Yeah, we need to get some good extrapolation on that data. Anyway, moving back on before we get too derailed. Yeah, so shows that I really want to like check out or plan to check out. Who knows, maybe if I'll get to them or not. But yeah, first on the list is the Misfit of Demon King Academy, and I'm gonna be straight up with y'all. I'm expecting just a straight up Magic Academy Power Fantasy trash anime. Like I'm not expecting like too much out of this, honestly.
Like Ruby? So like Ruby?
Okay, bro. Whoa, bro. Whoa.
Did I fire some shots?
Dude, whoa, bro. Hold up. Okay, season 1, I will admit,
garbage.
Like in my personal opinion, right? I feel like Rooster Teeth had the option of either buying a Whataburger or making an anime with the same budget, $12, and they were like, you know what, season 1, and it's gone a long way from there, because it's really good so far. But once again, before I get too derailed, I'm not expecting too much from this show, honestly. Honestly, the biggest reason that I like was starting to check it out was because I was working out, and then I listened to anime openings when I work out. So then all of a sudden the opening for this show came out, and then I was like, yo, this kind of slaps. So I started like reading into it, looking more on the subreddit, anime subreddit, and I was like, yo, this may be a show that I like want to check out. Basically, I just want a show that I can like turn my brain off and just enjoy that good old dopamine, right? And it's basically leave feeling good, kind of like Pacific Rim, to be honest. I was literally, if you expect, yeah, dude, okay, hold up. If you went in expecting just giant monsters versus giant robots, you got everything you asked for. It was a great movie, and I will gladly die on that hill again.
I've never seen it. I'll watch it.
You've never seen it?
No. You'd think.
Bro, the tuba section back at UT, we would always fight. There was always like super divisive within the section. Like Pacific Rim was a good movie, Pacific Rim was garbage. Like, and it was.
And Daniel's at the front of the bus with the meal. It's like, how do you like Pacific Rim?
Oh, how do you? Oh,
wrong answer.
Sorry.
Hey, you want 2 meals? Here you go, pal.
God damn, dude, we're just getting so derailed.
One last thing. Does school in Japan start while we're in our summer season? Does that make sense? Like, there's a lot of shows coming out that revolve around school settings.
Right. God, we've talked about this before. I'm so tired. I think it's different because they have a summer vacation, but it's not as long as ours.
Right.
Theirs is like our winter vacation. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
where, like
it's just Christmas, like New Year's.
It's right in the middle of the semester.
Okay.
So, or in the year, whatever have you. I actually don't know when it starts. I always know that this, like, it ends whenever, and maybe it's just an anime thing, right? When it ends when, like, the sakura trees, the cherry blossom leaves start falling and shit. So whenever that season is, who knows? I feel like we've talked about this, and we went super in depth, and then I just kind of threw it all in my brain.
Yeah,
not gonna lie. It happens. But yes, going back to this, starting off as a light novel series written by Shu, illustrated by Yoshinori Shizuma, and then later becoming an anime directed by Shin Onuma and animated by Studio Silverlink. The story synopsis is as follows. I literally just Wikipedia this since I don't know much about it. Yeah, I know. Basically, this dude, Anos Voldegord, super edgy name, was a tyrannical demon king that eradicated humans, spirits, and even the gods, but became bored of eternal warfare and reincarnated with dreams of a peaceful world. However, what awaited him in reincarnation after 2,000 years were descendants who became too weak after becoming accustomed to peace and all sorts of magic that deteriorated to the extreme. After joining an academy called Demon King Academy, he's labeled a misfit as the school doesn't suspect him to be the real Demon King reincarnated. Not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna start it after I finish this podcast episode today. Hey. So hopefully it's like what I'm looking for, like something just I could just turn off my brain, watch it, boom. I would be pleasantly surprised if it turns out to be like a cautious hero kind of anime with some cool side twists. I mentioned that anime in the third Senpai Suggests as well. And that one I really liked. It was another isekai. This one's not an isekai, but it's just like a fantasy anime, right? But yeah, that show, Cautious Hero, had some cool side twists, plot twists, what have you. And I was like, wow, I was not expecting that, and that was really fun. But I'll keep expectations low on this one. So once again, recap the opening. That's what caught my attention, and I was like, yo, that's really good. So I give it bonus points in my book. But yeah, check it out on Crunchyroll if that seems to be something up your alley.
Yeah, I feel like this plot, if you tried to do it today, it'd be like Walt Disney actually froze himself in a cell, and he awoke in 2020. He walked outside. Oh God, there's a pandemic. Blah blah blah. He could go to like, he could walk into the headquarters of CNN and be like, "Hey guys, I'm actually Walt Disney." And they're like, "Shut the fuck up. We got millions of people dying every day. Who the fuck do you think you are?"
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Fuck you, want? Walt Disney. Oh, I'm Walt Disney. All right, yeah, my name's Seymour Asses. So get out.
And I'm Mickey Mouse.
What have you done to my baby?
Yeah.
He would be so
yeah, go check it out. Misfit Demon King Academy. The next one on our list is an anime original. So I was looking forward to this. So this one, I know. I have a special place in my heart for anime originals because, you know, we basically know nothing about the show, the series, until it finally airs. And, you know, that could either be a great thing or it could be a terrible thing. But for now, let's just dive right in. Deca-Dence is an anime originally directed by Yuzuru Tachikawa and animated by Studio Nut.
I was waiting for it. I read ahead, I saw it, and I was like, this motherfucker's gonna do it, ain't he?
Every single time there's just that studio nut like animate something, and I have to say it, I will always say it like that.
On brand.
Never will it fail.
On brand.
As I was looking up, because I've seen artwork of this show when it was like getting hyped up as an anime original on the anime subreddit, and I was like, yo, that, like the artwork's like really like interesting. So I started looking up and doing some research, right? And the setting, I don't think I could have done justice to it by summarizing it myself. So I just ripped this straight from Wikipedia. Not gonna lie, no shame, because I think they did a really good job, like setting the setting and the plot. So with that, here's the setting. It appears that humanity was driven to the brink of extinction by the emergence of life forms known as Godal, which destroyed 90% of the world's population. The survivors built a 3,000-meter high mobile fortress called Deca-Dence to protect themselves from the continuing Godal threat. The fortress city utilizes Oxyone, which flows through the Godal's veins as its power source, and Godal meat to feed the population. The population is split into two different types of people, I guess. Gears, who fight the Godal, and tankers who carry out the mundane task of maintaining the city. However, Deca-Dence is actually run by the Solid Quake Corporation as a colossal entertainment facility in the continent called Eurasia, in which the digital citizens can safely experience adventure as human avatars at the risk of real injury. Okay, that's like the setting. I guess that's like, I was reading that and I was like, okay, that seems like kind of cool.
So
and
like
then the
Sword
plot
Art meets Gurren Lagann?
Yo, it's weird. Yeah, it's like Sword Art means Gurren Lagann meets like the Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress.
Yeah.
That's like kind of what it like reminds me of. And then the plot in the fortress city of Deca-Dence, the lowly tanker girl Natsumi dreams of becoming a gear warrior following her father's death during a Godal attack. She is assigned to a maintenance team led by Kaburagi, whom she discovers is more than he appears. Kaburagi has a secret role in eliminating bugs, quote unquote. Humans who threaten
fucking opens up Microsoft Developer. I'm just gonna delete this line of code and abandon.
Look at this dirty code. Apparently, they're humans who threaten Solid Quake Corporation's operations. When Kaburagi discovers that Natsumi is listed as dead in the company database, he decides to keep her under observation and offers to train her. So, yeah, like I said before, the artwork that I've seen for the show is like really beautiful. I think it's really well done, and the setting was like, oh, that's like really. I think that's unique. Excuse me. I'm gonna check this out on my weekend because today's my Friday, right? But so hopefully it lives up to the hype that it's generated so far. You know, my golden standard for anime originals is and most likely always will be Kill la Kill. So yeah, there you have it. Hopefully it lives up to the hype and hopefully it's good.
I know you just talked about it, but this whole like situation where he's like, oh, technically you're legally dead, so I'm gonna use you as, let's see, a combat warrior. You ever seen Megalobox? It's gonna be a little bit like that.
Give us a Joe. Yeah, let's wrap this shit up. We got our last one to talk about.
Appare-Ranman?
Yeah. So this is where my JoJo reference comes in. Once again, this is one that I figured out when I was working out, and I listened to an anime opening, and I was like, yo, this is kind of cool. To me, this series basically is just JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Steel Ball Run. But for those of you who have no idea what the hell I'm talking about, this is another anime original, and it's named Appare-Ranman. It is directed by Masakazu Hashimoto and animated by Studio PA Works. Once again, good old Wikipedia to save my life, so I don't have to write anymore. Let's get with the summary. So, set around the late 19th century, near the start of the Meiji era in Japan, an eccentric inventor, and second son of a respected merchant family, Appare Sorano, decides one day to set off on an adventure. However, the samurai Kosame Ishiki is tasked with keeping Appare's eccentric behavior in check. While trying to drag Appare back to Japan, Kosame accidentally strands them both at sea until they are saved at the last moment by a passing American steamship.
Oh no!
Yeah,
that's where you go
it's
wrong.
The US.
Oh no! Oh,
now stuck in Los Angeles with no money and no easy way to return to Japan.
LA too.
Appare and Kosame decide to enter the Trans-American Wild Race, where Appare gets the chance to build a custom automobile and Kosame gets the opportunity to earn enough money to return home. The two of them will have to work together while fighting off other rival racers, bandits, and other challenges as they try to win the race. yeah, the setting seems super cool. It's literally just Steel Ball Run wrapped up into like its own separate anime. So I was like, yo, that seems really lit. And then once again, the opening caught my attention. I was like listening to it, and I was like, yo, this is super catchy. So hopefully I get the chance to check it out this weekend as well. I'm planning on like knocking these 3 out this weekend since I have the time. I have a nice 3-day weekend on my hands. So hopefully I get the chance to check that out. But yeah, if you're interested, once again, it's on Crunchyroll. That is Appare-Ranman.
You want to do us a favor and explain what Steel Ball Run is?
Steel Ball Run is the 7th part of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Yeah.
So skip over Stone Ocean, which is an animated.
Yeah. Skip over Stone Ocean, and then you have oh my god, what's the 6th one?
That is Stone Ocean, right?
Oh, Stone Ocean, yeah, because Golden Wind's 5th, right?
Yeah.
That's all I was like, something in between. Yeah. So okay, first one. What was that one? It was Phantom Menace? Was it Star Wars?
I like know you didn't mean that ironically. Like you genuinely thought Phantom Menace?
Phantom, it's something. I think it's something. Phantom Blood. Yeah,
that sounds right.
Right. And then part 2 is
Caesarino's Time to Shine.
I don't remember. And then Stardust Crusaders Part 3, aka Where's JoJo's Part. Fight me on that. 4 is Diamonds Unbreakable. 5 is Golden Wind. 6 is Stone Ocean, and then 7 Steel Ball Run. Yeah.
Okay.
What? Yeah. So it's separated in separate parts. We need to do a JoJo's episode later on. But yeah. But there you go. Appare-Ranman. And with that concludes the list. I think let's see how many shows we went over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we went over 8 shows today. Hopefully that gives you some content to check out if you were not if you're undecisive at this point in time on whether or not to watch a show or not, and maybe we swayed you one way or another. Maybe you were like, oh wow, that's a great suggestion, or wow, these guys are stupid, and maybe I'm not going to check it out. Yeah, so but there you have it. And this is the first time that we're checking out and testing out video recording, so it was a blast. We can't wait to have Jake in on our next episode. So with that, we would like to thank Joe Karoom for the use of his music in our podcast. The intro is Dreams and the outro is Lowrider. Links to his contact info will be in our show notes. If you enjoyed listening to us, please don't forget to rate us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, YouTube, or where you listen to podcasts. Check out our website, weebthepeople.com. Make sure to follow our Twitter handle at weeb_the_people. Facebook page, Weeb the People, and Anime Podcast. And our Instagram page, Weeb the People Podcast. And finally, if you have any questions, either DM us on any of those social medias that I just mentioned, or email us at weebthepeoplepodcast@gmail.com. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'm your host, Daniel.
It's not an anime, but what also is airing this summer 2020 is season 3 of the reboot of DuckTales. My name is Malcolm.
This has been Weeb the People, and have a great evening.
I hate this.